This is a timeline of the Bible. We are going to leave the Israelites in the desert and fast forward in time, past the judges and past Samuel and David and Solomon and past Jonah and all the way down to where Jesus is born. That's right, we're going to start talking about Christmas. Well, actually, we're going to talk about what happened right before the first Christmas. In the Gospel of Luke, the first story we read is not about Jesus, it is about Elizabeth and Zechariah. Zechariah was a priest and his wife was Elizabeth, and they were older and they didn't have any kids. And one day Zechariah was in the temple. Well, actually, he was in a special place in the temple called the Holy of Holies. It's a place that only one priest at a time could go into. And Zechariah would probably never be back in this place again. And while he was in there, an angel from God appeared to him. And Zechariah was afraid. Here's what happened next. "Don't be afraid, Zechariah. Your prayers have been heard. You and your wife Elizabeth will have a son, and you will name him John. And he will be a very awesome dude, and you will love him very much. He will make you proud. And God's going to love him too. He will bring a lot of people to God. And he will have a very important job, to prepare the way for the Lord." How is that going to work? Elizabeth and I are too old to have kids. "I am Gabriel. I stand in God's presence. God sent me to tell you this good news. Know this. This is going to happen. But because you didn't believe me, you will not be able to speak until your son is born." Now, while all of this was happening, there was a crowd of people in the temple waiting for Zechariah. He had been in the Holy of Holies for a while now, and they were getting nervous. When Zechariah finally did come out and couldn't speak, he tried to show them what had happened. They realized he had seen a vision from God, but they didn't understand what it meant. Elizabeth and Zechariah went home, and soon after that, Elizabeth became pregnant, and she was amazed. And soon their son was born, and they named him John, but we know him as John the Baptist, and he was the cousin of Jesus. Elizabeth and Zechariah received a very special gift from God. They received a son. Have you ever received a special gift from God? Sure, it may not have come in a gift bag like this, but we've all received gifts from God, haven't we? We've been given friends and family. God's given us this life. God's given us today. God has given us so many gifts. And so we have to celebrate and not be scared of those gifts or question those gifts like Zechariah did, but appreciate and love God for the gifts that we receive. I want you to take a look at page number 1. On it, you'll find a spot where you can draw a picture of a gift that you've received from God. Let's pause the video to give you a chance to draw that picture of a gift that God has given you. Today also begins a really special season in the church. It's a season called Advent. Advent is a time where we prepare, where we wait, where we look forward to Christmas. It's not here yet, but we get ready, we decorate, and we hear stories that lead up to Jesus' birth. And we light an Advent wreath. We light candles each Sunday to help us prepare for the hope and the peace and the joy and the love that Christ brings into the world. Advent is a really special time of the year. It begins the calendar of the church. Yeah, that's right. The church actually has a different calendar than the rest of the world. So really, this Sunday, today, is the beginning of the church year. And Advent is the first season. And so let's take a look at the Advent calendar that you'll see on the website. Each day, from now until Christmas, there is an activity for you and your family to do. I really encourage you to try to do as many of those activities as you can, because they will all help you prepare for Christmas, to help you prepare for Jesus' birth, for Jesus coming into the world. Christmas is a time we have to prepare for each and every year. Because if we don't get ready, then we'll never be ready for Jesus to enter our own life. And that's why Advent's so important. So print out this picture. I'll send it to you. Take a picture. Do whatever you need to do to post it on your refrigerator. Put it somewhere you'll remember. And do the activities so you can be ready for Jesus. We'll see you next week when we talk about Mary, when she received the news that she was going to have a baby, just like Elizabeth. Bye.